Ah, you return, and I see now the darkness has begun to change you. Your eyes are different, sharper. They linger on shadows a moment too long, as if you expect them to move. Your breathing has slowed, matching the rhythm of this place. The museum does that, traveller. It seeps into you, one story at a time, until you're no longer a visitor, but part of the stillness. I've been watching. I have seen the way you look at the exhibits now. Not with the wide eyes of a newcomer, but with the steady gaze of someone who has learned that the world is stranger than ever imagined. Good. That is as it should be. Tonight we turn to something different. Not murder, not disaster, not the whisper of folklore. Something that is sat in silence for nearly 2,000 years, waiting for someone to understand it, waiting for you. Step closer. Let the silence settle. The air here is expectant, as if the object in this case is holding its breath. It's been holding its breath for a very long time. Do you see it? There in a case of plain glass, lit from above with a single lamp. A hollow bronze object, about the size of a clenched fist. It has 12 flat faces, each one a pentagon, and each face has a hole in the centre. Different sizes, some large, some small. At every corner, where the faces meet, a small rounded knob protrudes, like the bump of a sea urchin. The metal is green with age, pitted in places, but remarkably intact. The plaque reads, Roman dodecahedron, discovered in Norton Disney, Lincolnshire, England. Estimated date, 3rd or 4th century CE. This is exhibit 15 of my collection, the Roman Enigma. Look closer, traveller. Let your eyes trace those 12 faces. See how the holes vary in size, from the width of a coin to the width of a finger. See how the knobs at the corners are perfectly shaped, each one identical to its neighbour. This object was not hastily made. Someone poured hours, perhaps days, into its creation. Someone with skill, with patience, with resources. And yet, after nearly 2,000 years, no one knows what it's for. No one. Now, bring your ear to the glass. Listen. Can you hear it? Not a sound, but an absence of sound. The silence of 130 identical objects found across the Roman Empire, each one raising the same question, and not one of them providing an answer. This object pulls us back to the edge of the Roman world, to the misty provinces of Britannia, Gaul, and Germania, to the mystery that has baffled scholars for nearly 3 centuries. The year is 1739. The place is England. In the county of Lincolnshire, not far from the town of Lincoln, a labourer is digging in a field, perhaps turning soil for planting, perhaps searching for stones for a wall. His spade strikes something hard. He kneels, brushes away the dirt, and pulls out a small bronze object. It's unlike anything he has ever seen. 12 faces, 12 holes, 20 rounded knobs, hollow inside. The metal is cold and green, ancient beyond his reckoning. He turns it over in his hands, trying to understand what it is. A candle holder, a dice, a child's toy. Nothing seems to fit. He takes it to the local antiquarian, who writes about it in learned journals. The object is described, sketched, debated, but no one can say what it is. That was the first. In the nearly 300 years since, more than 130 of these objects have been found across northern and western Europe, in England, France, Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, Austria, the Netherlands, and Hungary. They range in size from about 4 centimeters to 11 centimeters tall. Some are plain, some are decorated with rings and lines, some are made of bronze, others of a copper alloy. A few have traces of tin or lead in the metal, but they all share the same basic form: 12 pentagonal faces, each with a central hole, 20 knobs at the corner, hollow in the middle. And they are found nowhere else. Not in Italy, the heart of the Roman Empire. Not in Greece, not in Spain, not in North Africa, not in the eastern provinces. Only in the northern and western fringes, the lands where the Romans encountered the Celts, the Gauls, and the Germanic tribes. This is the first clue, traveller, and it's a maddening one. The questions have multiplied over the centuries. What were they for? Scholars have proposed at least 50 different theories. Candle holder. The wax would drip through the holes, they say. A surveying instrument. The different hole sizes could be used for measuring distance. A military standard. Something carried at the front of the legion. A dice, though the knobs make it impossible to roll fairly, and the varying hole sizes would unbalance it. A knitting tool. Some have suggested it was used to weave gold chains or knit gloves. A child's toy, a musical instrument, a calendar for determining the optimal date to sow grain, a rangefinder for artillery, a test of a metalworker's skill, a piece meant to demonstrate masonry, not to be used. The problem with all these theories is that none of them fit the evidence. If they were tools, they would have shown signs of wear. Not in Disney's dodecahedron. The one you see before you is in pristine condition. It was found exactly as it was made, as if it had never been handled at all. If they were measuring devices, they would be standardized. They are not. Every dodecahedron is different. Different sizes, different hole diameters, different weights. If they were military objects, they would be found across the entire empire. But they're not. They are found in only northern provinces. If they were everyday objects, there would be descriptions of them in Roman literature. There are none. No Roman writing ever mentions a 12-sided bronze object with holes and knobs. No Roman artist ever painted one on the walls or carved one into a mosaic. They are absent from the written records entirely. So what are they? The most compelling clue is where they are found. The Norton Disney dodecahedron was discovered on the top of a hill, in a large pit, deliberately placed there alongside pottery fragments from the 4th century CE. It was not lost. It was not discarded. It was buried, carefully, intentionally, as if for a purpose. Decades earlier, at the same site, a figurine of a Roman god riding a horse was found, an object associated with places of worship. This had led many archaeologists to believe the dodecahedrons were religious objects, perhaps used in rituals by local cults on the fringes of the Roman Empire. The Romans, like many ancient people, were deeply superstitious. They looked for signs of omens in everything. Perhaps these strange 12-sided objects would play roles in that, in divination, in prophecy, in magic. But if that is true, why are there no descriptions of them? Why are there no depictions? Why did the Romans, who wrote about everything from military tactics to recipes for fish sauce, never mention those objects? Perhaps the answer is simpler. Perhaps the dodecahedrons were not Roman at all. Notice, traveller, where they were found. Not in Italy, not in Roman heartland, in the northern provinces, in the land of the Celts, the Gauls, the Germanic tribes, the lands that Rome conquered but never fully absorbed. Some scholars believe that the dodecahedrons were made by local peoples, not by Romans. Perhaps they were ritual objects used for the Celtic Druids, by Germanic priests in ceremonies that the Romans never fully understood, and therefore never recorded. The Norton Disney dodecahedron, the one you see before you, is one of the finest ever found. It is complete. The truth is, traveller, that after nearly 300 years of study, after 130 discoveries, after 50 different theories, we are no closer to the answer than the labourer who pulled the first one from the soil in 1739. And it tells us nothing. It sits in this case, green with age, its 12 faces staring back at us, like the faces of a clock whose hands have fallen off. It's a puzzle with no solution, a question with no answer, a mystery that has outlasted the empire it was made for. So now we leave it be, a hollow bronze object, 12-faced and many-holed, small enough to fit in a clenched fist. It is a humble thing, green with age, and yet heavy with the weight of 2,000 years of silence, heavy with the question of every archaeologist who has ever held one, every historian who has ever studied one, every visitor who has ever stared at one and wondered, what is it for? Keep the image of those 12 faces in your mind a while longer, traveller. Think of the metalworker who poured the molten bronze into a clay mould, who carved the wax model with such precision, who created something beautiful and strange and utterly unidentifiable. Think of the hands that have held it, perhaps a priest, perhaps a soldier, perhaps a woman performing a ritual we will never understand. Think of the moment it was placed in the ground, buried on a hilltop, left for someone to find nearly 2,000 years later. Do not try to solve it. Some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, only wondered at and carried and passed on. We'll close this case for now, and you may step back into the world where the objects have names and purpose. But remember, in this museum, we acknowledge that the most enduring mysteries are not the ones hidden in tombs or written in forgotten languages. They are ones that sit in plain sight, on a glass shelf in a quiet room, waiting for someone to finally understand. The darkness has changed you, traveller. I can see it in your eyes. You will return. They always return. My duty is done. The story is told. Now you carry it out into the light. Mind the things that have no names. This museum and its keeper will be here when you return.